We have a demo piece to look at today. This is the Pioneer DDJ-REV5, and I know this has been out for over a year, and there are some really good videos on it out there. If you have a look at Run Johnny, PJ from Pioneer, he's got a great video on it, and Cleveland Terry has a great one too. In fact, I'll put both of those videos down here in the description of this video. You can have a look at them. But I thought it would be interesting to look at this from a mobile DJ's perspective. I asked to look at it because when I was looking for a controller last January, this was on my short list. I ultimately went with the DDJ-800, which you can't find now, or you can if you're real lucky, but you're not going to be seeing them for much longer. These are out there though, and this isn't a bad choice, in my opinion, for the mobile DJ. By the way, this video is brought to you by Hollywood DJ, located on 11th Street in Los Angeles, California. They have provided this REV5 for us today. You can check them out on our website, or alternately, give them a call. They've got these in stock, as well as a lot of other stuff you might be looking for as a mobile DJ. And by the way, if you give them a call, it might be to your benefit. The whole map pricing thing, I've said too much. Anyway, thank you, Hollywood DJ, for being one of our channel sponsors. First thing I want to talk about is that although it says Serato right here and record box right there, this does indeed work great with Virtual DJ. They've already mapped it out for you, and it's real easy to hook it up to work with your Virtual DJ. The first thing you got to do is install the driver for the REV5. You go to the Pioneer website, you find the driver for Windows or Mac, whatever you're using, install that driver, and after you do that, open up Virtual DJ. It's going to recognize the REV5, click, yeah, that's what I want to use, and it's all mapped out for you. If you don't install the driver, what happens is you're only going to be able to hear audio out of the computer itself. It's an audio driver. You're going to be able to use all the controls on the REV5, but you're not going to be able to use the audio, which is what you ultimately want, right? So that's with anything. Install that driver before you go ahead and assign it to Virtual DJ. When I started looking at controllers last January, it was kind of tough to find something that was good for what I wanted to do. I mean, I'm a mobile DJ. I have specific wants and needs. I wanted something small, but when I looked at all the small options out there, it kind of felt like I was looking at a bunch of toys for bedroom DJs. There were RCA outputs, the sound cards weren't brilliant. Maybe you got a mic input, maybe you didn't. And I was running into a big sound system that was brand new. I needed a really solid sound card and XLR output. So I started looking at some of the big pro grade stuff. It was like looking at furniture. This stuff is huge. You might as well buy a piano. And once you put it in a road case, the thing weighs 100 pounds sometimes if you go hard shell. So that's why this made my short list. It fit a lot of the things that I needed. Size-wise, it's under 30 inches long, a little under 15 inches deep, and it weighs less than 14 pounds. That's fine. No problem. Something else that I didn't need, but it seemed like all of the controllers that matched the good XLR outputs and sound card had, were 4 line faders, and you paid for them too. I don't need 4 line faders. I only need 2. I'm a mobile DJ. I'm never going to run 4 decks. So we've got 2 line faders here. Perfect. There are 2 microphone inputs on this. Are they brilliant? No, they're Pioneer microphone inputs, but they're fine. I make them work. One of them is an XLR. One of them is a 1/4 inch. You can control them right here for volume. There's actually a trim for them on the back. You can adjust that, set it and forget it, and then use these for your gain. And then you've just got this little high and low EQ, which is kind of a bummer. It's too bad it's not a mid, but again, Pioneer, fine. I make it work. The effects and things are not important to me. I'm not scratching, I'm not looping, but you know what? Stems are kind of fun sometimes, I guess. You got stem control on this, just with the push of a button, and I'll show you that. The front panel is pretty self-explanatory, but I did want to show you some stuff in the back panel. Of course, we've got our XLR master outs. You've also got RCA outs if you need those. And you've got booth outs. Those are 1/4 inch. On the back for inputs, you've got A and B for USB, and they are USB-C. That seems to be the trend. The reason you have 2 is so you can have 2 laptops plugged in and switch between the 2. There's a switch on the top of the controller that allows you to do that. And I think the idea behind it is, let's say there's 2 DJs one night. There's an opener and a headliner. The opener can have their computer plugged into A, and the headliner can have their computer plugged into B. When the opener is done, you simply hit a switch on the top of the controller, switches it from A to B, and it's seamless. They can even be using different softwares. It doesn't really matter. Two separate computers. Mobile DJs won't need to do that, but this would be an interesting option for those of you who are into ridiculous redundancies. If you're afraid you're going to have a computer fail or crash and you want to have backup ready to go instantly, you could plug it in just like this. You can have your main computer here and your backup here. This is your aux input, so if you want to plug in anything auxiliary into this, you can. You also have your two microphone inputs. You've got your combo XLR 1/4 inch for your main mic and your bounce 1/4 inch for your mic 2. This ATT thing here, this is kind of like your trim or your gain on your mixer. And then you have your line level fader that actually, lets you set the volume. But this is kind of your ultimate gain here. That's what these ATTs are. They're in a weird place, but they're there and they work. You can kind of set them and forget them. You know what a power button is, so we don't have to talk about that. But here's your power supply. It's also USB-C. There's a provided power supply that comes with the controller, but if it gets lost or damaged, you could probably use something like a really good phone charger or tablet charger and a USB-C cable to go into that and power your unit. Let's play something I hope doesn't get us flagged. First thing I'm going to show you here is the pitch. It's up here. It's not over here like it traditionally would be. It's in what they call the battle position. I have no problem reaching up and adjusting this. It's out of my way. It's not over here, so yeah, I'm cool with that. These are your stem buttons. You get these on each deck. Check this out. If you haven't plugged with stems, you take the drums out just by pushing that button. Want to take the bass out? No bass. Let's put the bass back in and take the medley out. Notice that we've left the vocals in, which will kick in here in just a second. There they are. Want to take the vocals out? You can do that too. Make it an instrumental, which is a nice thing to do when you're trying to do DJing sometimes. You want an instrumental to mix into or out of, or somebody to sing over or whatever. You can do that with the stems. I want to show you this too. The hot cue works. You can have several hot cues on each track. They save in VDJ. These are not effects that are built into the REV5. These are effects that are actually in VDJ. All the REV5 is doing is controlling those effects. So you got hot cue. Here you have a roll. Kind of a fun effect. You also have your saved loops that you can do. I've got a saved loop in here. It'll just do that forever. You can adjust the loop as far as where you want the perimeter to be. There's a button right there for that, I believe. There's also a sampler, and I don't know how to use the sampler, so I'm going to show it to you, but it works. Get out of the loop. You also have this FX select. So in VDJ, there are effects that you can select and control them with the REV5. Not sure what's selected there, but there's something. Here's another one. You can either have them on like that where you can release this, or put them lock on so they're always on. So yeah, everything seems to work as it should with the effects and everything else. So there's a REV5 demo for you, courtesy of Hollywood DJ. Thanks for sending it. If you're looking for one of these, you can look at the website or give them a call. There's nothing in it for me, by the way. It's just a hookup if you want one. They've got them in stock. And if you like this type of video, where I kind of go through a piece, it's not necessarily something I'm using on the road, but I'm showing it to you, let me know in the comments section, because if you like this, Hollywood DJ, I'm sure would be happy to send me all kinds of stuff to take a look at. Let me know. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate your likes and subscriptions and comments, and I appreciate you for just being who you are. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.